actually, you would think that I had been the type of person who would have obsessed over the idea of a wedding my whole life, but I actually never thought about what I would ever do or what I would want until I met the person.
That one's going to be easy. I just got to figure out if I win a football game first.
I'm doing the album thing now, which is a big thing.
Yes.
And then I think the wedding is what happens after that. In the scheme of the...
Every so often, a celebrity romance comes along that feels bigger than tabloid gossip. It feels cinematic, like you're watching a blockbuster love story unfold in real time. And if you thought Hollywood had run out of new plot lines, think again. Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce have entered the chat, and they're rewriting the entire genre. Picture it, the world's most influential pop superstar, the architect of heartbreak ballads and revenge anthems, falling for one of the NFL's most magnetic, record-shattering athletes. It's not just a love story anymore. It's a full-on cultural event. A fairy tale meets a football dynasty. Stadium lights collide with candlelit dinners. Someone once joked, "Let's mix a Super Bowl parade with a royal wedding," and the universe clearly said, "Bet." Now here's where it gets really intriguing. Taylor, who once guarded her love life tighter than her unreleased vault tracks, has been dropping subtle hints lately, the kind only true Swifties would catch, and every single one seems to be pointing toward the same thing, a wedding that could redefine celebrity romance as we know it. Because if you know Taylor, you know she doesn't do small. When she plans, she orchestrates. When she celebrates, the world watches. It all began with one blink and you'll miss it moment on the Graham Norton Show back on October 3rd, the exact same day her re-recorded album was announced. Coincidence? Not likely. Fans think that was the soft launch of something much bigger, the prelude to what could become the most anticipated event of 2026. And honestly, if this turns into the kind of wedding people live stream from every time zone, no one will be surprised. Because with Taylor and Travis, even reality feels scripted, just with better lighting and a killer soundtrack. When her 12th studio album, The Life of a Showgirl, dropped, Taylor was glowing. That unmistakable main character energy radiating off her in waves. Sitting on the Graham Norton Show couch, she was all poise and playfulness, riding high on her latest creative triumph. But then came the moment that sent the entire internet spiraling. Between the jokes and the album talk, she casually said, "I'm just doing the album thing right now," which is a big thing. Then, with that signature sparkle in her eyes, the one fans know always means there's more, she added, "And then I think the wedding is what happens after that." In the scheme of the planning, that single line broke the internet. Within minutes, timelines were flooded, group chats were exploding, and Swifties everywhere went from decoding lyrics to building wedding playlists. Because if Taylor's talking about it, even half-jokingly, it's not just small talk, it's foreshadowing. And if she's already glowing like this, we're not just witnessing an album era. We're watching the soft launch of a modern-day fairy tale. Fans are convinced this isn't coincidence. It's choreography. From her diamond-studded looks to the lyrics hinting at forever, Taylor might be giving the world its first taste of her next big era. Mrs. Swift Kelce intro to
album thing now, which is a big thing.
Yes.
And then I think the wedding is what happens after that. In the scheme of the planning. You know, I'm so excited.
Seriously? Taylor Swift casually dropping wedding details like she's just updating a Spotify playlist? That's peak Taylor. It's heart-melting and jaw-dropping all at once. Only she could make planning what's essentially a global event sound like a cozy weekend project between songwriting, sessions, and stadium tours. Then came the Instagram post, the one that quite literally broke the internet. Her caption? "Your English teacher and your gym teacher are getting married." It was clever, poetic, and perfectly Swift-coded, the kind of line that sounds simple until you realize it's loaded with meaning. The photos that followed were pure cinematic magic. Soft light, golden tones, that unmistakable mix of surprise, romance, and Taylor's signature sparkle that practically glowed through every pixel. Honestly, who could blame the world for losing its mind? Because that proposal story, that's where the legend begins. According to Taylor, it all happened right after she wrapped recording on her debut, an almost poetic full circle moment. The girl who once sang about fairy tales was finally living one. And this time, she wrote the ending herself. During her appearance on Travis's New Heights podcast back in August, he decided to drop what might be the most jaw-dropping surprise of all, an entire garden built just for the proposal. Not flowers from a shop, not a rented venue. A custom-designed garden behind his own house, created just for that one moment. Taylor called it a 10 out of 10, but let's be honest, this was a solid 11 out of 10. It wasn't just romantic, it was cinematic. The kind of thing you'd expect in the final act of a movie, not real life. If there's ever been a world record for the most over-the-top yet perfectly heartfelt proposal, Travis Kelce just set the bar so high even Cupid's taking notes, and somehow, it wasn't just grand. It was personal. Every flower, every pathway, was designed around moments from their love story, turning the garden into a living timeline of them.
I'm nervous about the podcast. He's like, my heart is racing. I know how much this means to you. I really want this to be what you hoped it would be, because we've been talking about doing the podcast and announcing the album.
Yeah.
And he's like, my heart's racing. I've never seen this dude nervous.
But here's the part that really makes you pause. Taylor's quiet confession that she never saw herself as the wedding-obsessed type. During her October 2025 interview on the UK's Heart Radio, she admitted something that even her most devoted fans didn't see coming. Despite writing some of the most timeless love songs of this generation, heartbreak anthems, cinematic ballads, and grand romantic metaphors, Taylor revealed that she'd never actually imagined her own wedding. "You'd think I'd be the kind of person who's had a Pinterest board for it since I was a teenager," she laughed. But instead, she said she'd always been more focused on telling other people's love stories through music, until now. Because for the first time, she's not just writing about forever, she's living it. She laughed softly, saying, "But I actually never thought about what I'd do or what I'd want until I met the person." It's such a simple statement, yet it says everything. For someone who spent her entire career turning love into art, it was never about the fantasy. It was about finding the person who made the fantasy real. And in true Taylor fashion, that realization hits like the bridge of one of her best songs. Emotional, honest, and quietly cinematic. It's the kind of line that reminds you why people connect to her so deeply. Because even in the middle of all the fame, she still finds truth in simplicity. And now, that truth has become the heartbeat of her real-life love story.
Think that I had been the type of person who would have obsessed over the idea of a wedding my whole life, but I actually never thought about what I would ever do or what I would want until I met the person. Like, it's like then, so I haven't actually even thought about.
And that, my friends, is the kind of romantic moment that makes even the most skeptical hearts believe in destiny again. Meanwhile, Travis Kelce is turning wedding prep into his own comedy meets charm masterclass. During his New Heights podcast, when Jimmy Fallon teasingly asked if he and Taylor were going with a DJ or a live band for the big day, Travis didn't even hesitate. "We're definitely live music kind of people," he said with that easy confidence fans can't get enough of. Because, honestly, can you even picture a Swift wedding without live music? Then flashing his trademark grin, he added, "That part's the easy one. I just gotta focus on winning football games first." Classic Kelce, effortlessly funny, down to earth, and just chaotic enough to keep it real. It's that perfect blend of charm and grounded warmth that makes him the ideal counterpart to Taylor's poetic, all-in kind of love. Together, they radiate this rare kind of energy, the kind that feels electric but effortless at the same time. It's chemistry you can't fake, the kind that pulls you in without even trying. They're like lyrics and melody, different notes, different worlds, but when they come together, it just works.
You got to do DJ or band? Are you thinking about all this stuff?
Yeah, I think we're live music kind of people, you know? So
I've seen you perform. You have to.
That one's going to be easy. I just got to figure out if win a football game first.
It's written straight out of her own lyrics. Part fairytale, part cinematic masterpiece. Fans are already imagining pastel sunsets, soft instrumentals playing in the background, and handwritten vows that sound like verses from an unreleased track. Because when Taylor does something, it's never just an event. It's a story, crafted with layers of meaning, emotion, and beauty. And with Travis by her side, you just know it'll have that perfect balance of grandeur and grounded charm, elegance with a little Kansas City soul. Wherever it happens, one thing's for sure. It'll be a wedding that feels less like a ceremony and more like a legend in the making. The weekend, Taylor says, will belong exclusively to her and Travis, at least for one unforgettable moment in time. And naturally, when it comes to music, you know it's going to be legendary. Taylor teased that Ed Sheeran will probably perform, joking that it would be nearly impossible to keep him off the stage. That's the fun thing about our friendship, she laughed. We both love performing. We love writing. We love singing. Just picture it, Ed Sheeran serenading Taylor and Travis as they exchange vows beneath twinkling lights and a soft ocean breeze. Goosebumps, right? After all, Taylor Swift and live music go together like peanut butter and jelly. Inseparable and iconic. So don't be surprised if a few surprise performances keep the celebration alive well into the night. And then there's the guest list. Forget the intimate A-list micro-wedding. Taylor's going big. Stadium tour big. During her Graham Norton appearance, she confirmed that this will be a massive celebration, not a carefully curated gathering of select names. No stressing over who makes the cut. No awkward bubble guests. As she put it, the only stressful weddings are the ones where you have a small list and people are on the bubble. I'm not going to do that. Her goal? Pure fun, joy, music, and an unforgettable night that feels like one more era. But this time, written in real life.
It's going to be fun to plan because I think the only stressful weddings are the ones where you have a small amount and people are on the bubble. You have to evaluate or assess your relationship with them to see if they should be there.
Intro 6, picture it. Hundreds of guests, friends, family, teammates, collaborators, and maybe even a few surprise celebrity appearances. Basically, an A-list gathering of everyone who's ever shared a stage, a locker room, or a headline in the Taylor and Travis love story. But here's where things get really juicy. The rumored wedding location. According to insider whispers, Taylor reportedly has her sights set on one of the most breathtaking venues on the East Coast, the Breakers in Newport, Rhode Island. We're talking about a 70-room Gilded Age mansion originally built by Cornelius Vanderbilt II, a seaside palace valued at nearly $500 million. It's opulent, iconic, and just 40 miles from Taylor's beloved holiday home, High Watch in Westerly. So, yes, it's practically in her backyard, but here's the kicker, and it's pure Taylor Swift energy. Allegedly, another couple had already booked June 13th, 2026, the exact date Taylor wanted. And instead of backing down or picking another weekend, she reportedly pulled the most Swiftian move imaginable. She offered to pay for their entire wedding and honeymoon at over $150,000 just to secure the date. Bold, absolutely. Generous, completely. Legendary? Without question. In other words, it's quintessential Taylor Swift. Part heart, part headline, and 100% unforgettable.
One of my friends' friends is getting married at in Rhode Island on June 13th, 2026. The venue called her and said someone is willing to buy you out of your date. She said, no, I don't want to switch my date. They called her back and said they're willing to pay for her entire wedding and honeymoon to have this date. So they said yes and think it might be Taylor Swift.
And let's be honest. Can you even picture Taylor Swift politely negotiating with another couple over a wedding venue? You just know she did it with that signature mix of charm, poise, and quiet confidence. The kind that gets her exactly what she wants, yet somehow leaves everyone smiling about it. Of course, the Rhode Island rumors are still swirling like a sea breeze off the Atlantic. Some insiders claim the couple may have opted for the Ocean House Hotel instead, a breathtaking resort just minutes from Taylor's own mansion in Westerly. But here's the twist. Both venues have publicly denied any official confirmation. And naturally, that only makes fans more obsessed. Because when it comes to celebrity weddings, secrecy doesn't kill the hype. It supercharges it. Everyone loves a little mystery, especially when Taylor Swift's name is in the headline. Meanwhile, Travis seems to be taking the entire circus in stride, handling it all with his trademark humor and effortless confidence. On his New Heights podcast, he's been the picture of cool, the calm center of a pop culture hurricane that just keeps spinning faster. On his New Heights podcast, when Travis was asked about the wedding planning, he just laughed. That one's going to be easy, he said. I just gotta figure out how to win a football game first. And honestly, that's adorable. There's something endlessly endearing about how grounded he stays. Like he knows the wedding will be magical no matter what, simply because he's planning it with her. For him, the real pressure is catching passes under stadium lights, not choosing table linens. It's that balance that makes them work. Taylor brings the vision, the sparkle, the cinematic flair. Travis brings the steadiness, the humor, the reality check. Together, they're chaos and calm in perfect harmony. Now, just imagine their planning sessions. The two of them sitting at a long table scattered with mood boards, cake samples, and swatches of fabric. Taylor pointing at chandeliers on Pinterest while Travis pretends to care, at least until she mentions the open bar. The two